This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO of Aldebaran Resources, Mr. John Black. John, it's great to have you back on. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Gerardo?
I am well. I am looking forward to catching up in person next week at Beaver Creek. I encourage everyone that is there and is attending to stop by and say hello. But look, I reached out because you just reported the remaining holes from the 2021-2022 drill program at the ALDE project. And so it was a pretty lengthy news release. And I thought that the context was important because it's very easy to look at a headline number like 1,034.5 meters of 0.39% copper equivalent from 207 meters depth and just focus on that aspect of it. But there were some high grade gold hits in new parts of the property. There's a resource estimate that you're looking to wrap up here shortly. And from the sounds of it, it looks like you're planning a pretty aggressive follow-up drill program. So I figured I'd get you on the line here and let you summarize it for us.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. What this release was just a summary of all the remaining holes from the project. So now everything's fully reported from last field season. And the real highlights of this are we had 4 lengthy holes into the radial porphyry on the west side. Keep in mind, this is the porphyry center that we currently don't report a resource from. And we continue to add long runs. All of those holes hit lengthy runs of mineralization, with the exception of hole 50, which we stopped short right at the end of the season. It was just getting into the zone and the snow hit. And so we'll go back into that one as soon as we can get back in here in a few months. But we continue to report sort of 600 to 1,000 meters of mineralization in each hole. And those bulk out as long runs of low to moderate grade mineralization, but within those zones we see higher grade portions. And the important thing is that zone is showing definitely some volume to it, and we will be working up over the next couple of months a new resource estimate on that to incorporate into the larger resource we already reported on the main part of the system. And then there are also several shorter holes into the QDM gold zone. That's where we had a really nice high grade hit last year, and we tended to get longer runs of more moderate grade in there, but we're certainly showing that there's probably an extension to the already reported gold mineralization at QDM. So pretty excited to have all that data out. And now we're very actively planning the upcoming drill season. We anticipate we'll be getting into the camp in October and drilling just as quickly as we can and have a much more lengthy and extensive field season coming up in 2022 to 2023.
This part of Argentina is a just region that is seeing surging investment in capital from, and not just juniors or explorers, but from majors, right? The BHPs of the world, the South 32s of the world. Can you speak to the activity there and what it's like working in Argentina right now, which has emerged as, a great attractive mining jurisdiction, given, the relative instability of some of your neighbors, right?
It's pretty exciting right now and challenging in ways. We're trying to lock down drill rigs at the moment and make sure we get all of our best personnel back to work, and all of our neighbors are ramping up at the same time. So it's fun, and it's very, very active right now. A lot of that is due to the geology. We have a number of pretty exciting deposits around us, as well as our assets as well. And we're getting good support from the government. Not only are they providing an environment that allows us to work, they're actually taking steps to encourage foreign investment, and they're asking us questions about what do they need to do to make it easier for us to work, which is a wonderful setting compared to some parts of the world right now. So very active in that sense. And I think there's no better way to demonstrate that than to just look at some of the investment by the major mining companies into projects like ours. We've announced a new partnership with South 32, providing us with funding and setting us up well for this year. So we now have Sibanye-Stillwater and South 32 as major partners on our project going forward. But we've also seen BHP come in with a very large investment into Filo for an exciting project that they're working to the north of us. And just recently, last week, we've seen BHP announce an alliance with McEwen Mining. So we're seeing three or four of the major copper companies in the world placing bets on the activity in San Juan right now. I don't think there's a spot in the earth right now that has more investment activity and more exploration drilling going on than where we're at in San Juan.
A lot to like, a lot of news flow. I'm excited to see rigs turning again. I'm excited to see a resource update for radio when and if that happens, right? I know that you mentioned in the release that you were pondering and contemplating whether additional drilling will be required to get that resource update out to the market. And so hopefully that is something that we see soon. Anything else to add to that, John?
No, I did think just touch on that last point is as we look at it right now, it's clear we're still open in a couple directions. So we may elect to get a couple of the early holes into that this year and then do a data cutoff at the end of the year. But we still anticipate we'd be putting out an updated resource in the early part of next year for the QDM radio part of the system. And one of the things in projects like this, due to the seasonality of projects in this part of the Andes, we sometimes get a big gap. So there might be a concern that we just cleared the decks with all the data from last year, and it'll be a while. But within the next month or so, we'll be able to announce what our plans are going forward, and we'll be able to get drilling much more quickly. So it won't be long before we're back into producing more drill results again. So it's we hope to smooth out the data flow on the project here as we move forward.
Looking forward to it. I just read a report calling for $6 copper here within the next several years. I know you've gone on the record publicly and stated that if copper just stays at current levels, given the resource that you have already developed and given the upside potential as far as exploration goes, I think it bodes well for the direction of the share price here in the not too distant future. Any thoughts on the copper space before I let you go, John?
No, I agree with you. And the report that you just read on this is that, you know, we seem like we're beaten up in the sector just a little bit right now. But when we get through controlling inflation worldwide and get markets back pointed in the right direction, I think we'll see an explosion in the copper price. We're just, as an industry, we're not delivering the projects that are necessary to keep up with what will be a clearly increasing demand. So the majors are already positioning themselves for these type projects, and they'll continue to do so. And I think we're going to be in a very exciting space in the next couple of years. Yeah.
Well, you and the team have a history of monetizing assets like this, and it's at much higher valuations than Aldebaran's current market cap. So looking forward to it. John, pleasure as always. See you in Beaver Creek.
See you next week. Take care.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.